Hi, welcome to a gentle yoga class. My name is Kaylee. This class is just about 30 minutes or so, designed to really help you take good care of yourself, whatever that looks like, whatever that means. So feel free to take it extra easy. I do have a flow planned today that feels really good in my body. That said, I'm going to try my best to offer some variations if you're not feeling quite as stretchy or quite as energetic. So however you're showing up to your mat, my hope is that this practice is an opportunity, again, to take care of yourself and feel a little bit better on the other end. All right, when you are ready, go ahead and meet me in child's pose today. A nice variation when you're at home is to use a bolster or a pillow in front of yourself. So feel free to grab a prop if you'd like to, and then settle into a child's pose. You can bring your knees narrow or wide, whatever feels best for your hips is perfect. Take the first couple of moments of your practice to check in. Notice how your body's feeling. Are you feeling energy? Are you feeling tired? Are there any points in your body that need a little extra tenderness or care? And then take just another handful of breaths here. Send your breath, your prana, your energy into any pockets in your body that do feel like they need some acknowledgement or some attention. And take one more deep breath. Let your belly fill, let your chest expand as your lungs fill. And then open your mouth when you're ready. Sigh the exhale out. Shift forward to your hands and your knees, stacking your shoulders right on top of your wrists and your knees right underneath your hips. Draw some circles with your body over your wrist here. Some big body circles. Shifting the weight forward toward your fingers and then back toward your shins. Switch the direction of those circles that you're making. Try and stay long in your lower back. So there's this very gentle awareness of your midsection, little bit of activity in the abdominals to keep that space in the low back open. Come through neutral, tuck the tailbone under. Let's start in cat. So tuck the tailbone under, tuck your chin toward your chest. Stay here for a moment, press the mat away, let your shoulders melt toward your ears. So we're moving the shoulder blades away from the midline of the spine and letting them move up toward the ears. Let them move around onto the ribs. Take a deep breath into your back body as if you could breathe into the bottom of your ribs, bottom of your lungs. And then exhale, scoop the tailbone up, bend your elbows a bit as you pull your heart forward, finding cow. Chin lifts gently to open up the front of the throat. We're going to move between these two shapes, breathing, kind of making it nice and fluid. Exhale as you tuck your tailbone, round your spine, press the mat away. And then inhale as you tip the tailbone and pull your chest gently forward. Imagine the heels of your hands press back toward your knees. Do two more here. It's totally okay to change up the breath, maybe even not to sync the breath up with these poses, but just to flow in a way that feels really kind of fuss-free. So much of life we're in our heads for right now. Just allow yourself to be in your body as you find a neutral spine. Tuck your toes under and then walk your hands back toward your knees. You're going to find a little toes pose. It might feel good to go ahead and roll your shoulders all the way up over your hips if that feels like a good stretch in the soles of your feet. Otherwise, feel free to keep some weight shifted forward. You can absolutely come onto your fists or tent your fingers to give your wrists a little break. Notice the sensation in the soles of your feet. Maybe even close your eyes down for a moment here. So we're going to spend a little bit more time Moving around in the spine and another variation of cat-cow before we do some twists. Take one more long breath, opening up the plantar fascia back in the soles of the feet. And then as you exhale, walk the hands forward, untuck the toes. And I come into a variation of cat-cow from here. Keep your hips back on your heels. You can adjust where your hands are. You might experiment with that a little bit here. But start in your cat again, round your spine. Maybe even tuck your tailbone a little bit. And then take your cow, bend your elbows, pull your chest forward. So play around with this cat-cow variation, moving through your spine. Maybe you walk the hands back a little bit. Maybe you keep them pretty far forward. But just notice the difference in keeping your hips down. So we're really moving more through the upper back here, although there's still some stuff happening in the pelvis. Come through neutral, bring your hands in front of you, and then bend your right elbow. Lift the right elbow up to the side. Press your left hand down into the floor or the mat as you find some rotation here. Option to reach the right arm up if that feels comfortable in your shoulder. And then bring the right hand down, cross the right hand in front of the left. Left elbow lifts. Left arm might straighten out. And then bring the left hand down, cross the left hand in front of the right. So we're going to go side to side, right elbow. Maybe the arm straightens. Bring the hand down, crossing at the wrist. Left elbow, stretch. And then plant it down, wrist cross. Go ahead and take this a couple times through on your own. I like to segment it out with a bent elbow before straightening the arm. It might feel good for some folks to go ahead and do that in one smooth movement. Totally up to you. Pretty key here though to find this rotation, push the bottom hand down. So more than worrying about really opening up through that top arm for your twist, think about pressing down just as much with the bottom hand. Let's take it one more time on the right and one more time on the left to even everything out. And then walk your hands back with your toes pointing back. So we're going to stay here and stretch out the tops of the feet. Keep walking the hands or the fists back. Option to lift your right knee, maybe even bring your right palm to that knee to help lift it up. Big stretch for the front of the right foot and the right ankle and shin. Remember, we're never forcing any of these shapes, any of these stretches, just finding kind of a natural edge to that range of motion. And switch knees, swap it out, left knee lifts. Maybe you just use no hand to lift that knee. If you want a little bit more, you can use your left hand. But just apply a little bit extra pressure to pull that knee toward your body. Drop the left knee down. Either take one knee at a time again, or perhaps you lift both knees up at once. If you've got both knees up at once, you may alternate hands. If you've got the right knee up, go ahead and switch to the left. Right, keep the muscles around your jaw and your eyes relaxed. All right, drop the knees back down, walk the hands forward. Ooh, feel the feet move around a little bit, circle your ankles, maybe paddle out the tops of the feet, and then tuck your toes under. We're gonna take it into down dog. Stay here and breathe. Feel free to move around. My body wants to be still today. You can absolutely pedal out your knees or alternate lifting one heel and then the other. From downward facing dog, we're going to take a step with the right foot outside of the right hand. So big step outside of the right hand. You can help that right foot into place. Pivot the toes toward the left side of your yoga mat. Find a skandasana or a Cossack squat here. Option to bring your hands to your heart or keep the fingers down in front of your chest for balance. Find some length in the sides of the neck. From our Cossack squat, we're going to take the left hand down underneath the left shoulder. Start to pivot the toes back toward the top of the mat. So you'll come onto the balls of your feet. Right arm's gonna reach up, and then reach that right arm back. We're gonna spin the heels toward the left and the toes toward the right. Come onto the knife edges of your feet. Reach that right arm back toward your left foot, finding a stretch in the outer edge of the right hip and thigh. Push into the feet, reach the right arm up over your head, big breath in. And then take it back into that variation, stretching back with your right hand. 2 more, inhale, reach up. And exhale, lower down. Last one, reach up, breathe in. And then keep pivoting the toes toward the left side of your mat. We're gonna find a wide forward fold, feet are wide. You can catch the crooks of your opposite elbows here. Maybe you find a little sway. And feel that your feet are firmly planted. So heels stay connected with the floor, but you might start to shift your weight forward toward the balls of your feet to find a stretch, moving up the back of the legs further. Release the hands down. Walk your hands toward the top of the mat, pivot the toes forward, drop your back knee all the way down, and then bring your hands to your right thigh. Left toes can be tucked or untucked. For me, keeping them tucked is just easier balance. Stay here, keep your right hand planted, reach your left arm up, finding a side stretch, and then reaching that left arm over to the right. And continue to coach yourself to breathe in and out through your nose. Continue to coach yourself to soften the jaw. We're going to come back to the center, bend your elbows, pull the arms back, pull your chest through your arms. Maybe you tip your chin upward, nice long inhale here. And then plant the hands, straighten out the front leg a bit. So you find a stretch in the back of the right leg, right calf, right hamstring. You can absolutely soften your hips all the way back toward your left heel. Either way, flex your right foot and then kind of rotate the ankle and the foot side to side. So a little windshield wiper just at the ankle. So the whole leg's not moving, it's just that ankle joint as you've got the plantar flexion happening here. All right, come through the center. Maybe you sink your hips back a little bit further. When you're ready, we're gonna rebend the front knee. Take your time to step back to downward facing dog. Left knee lifts, right foot steps back. Hang out here for a moment. Breathe as you notice any difference between your right leg and your left leg. Any difference in the right ankle, left ankle, knee, hip. We're going to take that sequence on the left. So the left foot's going to step outside of your left pinky finger. Pivot your toes toward the right side of your mat. Melt the hips down for Skandasana, also known as a Cossack squat here. And then do what makes the most sense with your hands. So find some length in your spine, either tenting the fingers somewhere for support or maybe bringing hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra. Where can you find a little ease in your body? Often the face is a good spot to check. Eyes, jaw, shoulders. We're going to find our dragonfly twist. The right hand comes down. And then lift the left arm up. We're going to reach that left arm toward the back as you spin your heels toward the right, toes go left. Big stretch for the outer edge of your left hip and thigh. Let the hips sink a little bit as you reach back through your left arm and then take it over your head as you press into especially this left foot to lift the hips up. Big breath in. Exhale, sweep it back, let the hips melt. Again, inhale, reach forward. Last time, exhale, stretch it back. Inhale, reach forward. And then take that wide-legged straddle, pivoting your toes toward the right side of your yoga mat. Option this time to bring your hands to the outer edge of the ankles, maybe even to walk your fingers back between your heels. Three nice deep breaths here. Breathe right into where you feel the sensation of the stretch. If your head is free, give it a gentle shake or a little nod to relax any tension in your neck or your shoulders. And then release the fingers down, walk your hands forward, pivot your toes forward, drop your back knee down, right knee underneath your hips as you bring your hands to your left thigh. Again, you can keep the back toes tucked or untuck them, whatever helps you feel most stable. If you're near a wall, you can use that for support. Left hand stays on the left thigh, reach your right arm up. First, lengthen through the side body, and then take your side bend, reaching your right arm over your head toward the left side of your room. Whatever's over to your left, stretch the fingertips gently in that direction. And then see if you can imagine that you're kind of breathing into your right lungs more than your left. So you're biasing that breath into that open space in your right side waist, right rib cage, right underarm. We're going to come through the center, bend your elbows, pull your chest through your arms here. Maybe your chin lifts. And then release the fingers, framing your left leg as you stretch back through your left leg. Adjust, you might slide your left heel forward if you want. You might sink your hips all the way down toward your right foot back behind you. Flex your left toes. And then we're going to take those windshield wipers in the left foot. So fun fact about the feet, they really have all of the potential of the hands in terms of nerve innervation with the different muscles. So the more we can connect to the feet and get really kind of nuanced with the movement, the more space you can find there, the better the communication is going to be from our feet all the way up. And our feet are really our foundation a lot of the time, that first point of contact for our kinetic chain. So better movement is going to start for some of us, especially better walking with the feet. All right, come through the center, flex your left foot, press the left heel away from you. We're going to rebend the left knee when you're ready. Plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. So we're almost done with our pose portion of this practice. From downward facing dog, shift forward and drop your knees. So you're back in your tabletop position. And then shift forward again. So your shoulders are stacked over your wrist or even further. We're coming into a kneeling plank. Abdominals are in, not hanging out here for a ton of time. Slowly start to bend your elbows straight back as you lower all the way down. When you land, make a little pillow for your forehead by stacking the palms or lining up the forearms, and then drop your forehead down. Feel into the rebound sensations in your spine, in your hips, your knees, your ankles, and all of the soft tissue between those joint spaces, so the muscles and the connective tissue. When you're ready, start to lift the head and the neck. Let's take a Sphinx pose, bringing your elbows underneath your shoulders. You can test the spacing of your elbows by catching your opposite biceps. Maybe you separate the feet a little bit wider and wiggle around through the hips. See if you can find some space in the lower back. Option to keep your hands connected to the opposite biceps or to release your arms out in front of you. Whatever feels best for you here is great. And then for Sphinx today, it's not necessarily the right way to do this pose. There's not one right way, but for today, point the nose straight forward. Find a tiny bit of length by lifting the crown of the head away from your breastbone. Soften your eyes, maybe close them all the way down. And then breathe in a way that helps connect you to the stretch. Feel free to find some more ease in the feet or the legs. Imagine the lower back fanning open. Maybe you separate the feet a little further. For my body, this is where I want to stay today. If you know seal and you like seal, you can come into that stretch. I'll demo it real quick before I come back to Sphinx. For seal, bring your hands out to the corners of your mat and then lift the elbows up. Wherever you are, maybe you tip the chin up for a final long inhale here. Then lower all the way back down. You could create that pillow again for your forehead. Or simply nod your head to either side. Maybe you rest the arms down by your side. Feel the bones in your lower back come back to their natural distance. And feel all those little muscles around your low back come back to their resting length. And when you're ready, go ahead and roll all the way onto your back. When you land on your back, we'll take our hammock pose, windshield wiper knees, bring your arms to a goalpost or a T. And then for this variation, bring your feet and your knees all the way together. Find the smallest range of motion, so stay within the frame of your hips even. Maybe you even walk the feet further away. So this movement is really, really small. Moving towards Shavasana, setting up for a guided body scan. If there's any other stretches that you need, if it feels better to take some bigger windshield wipers or hug your knees into your chest. You take any stretches, any little movements that your body is asking you for, and then work your way into Shavasana. Set yourself up so that you're as comfortable as possible here. And that might mean if you're in your own space, grabbing a little pillow for behind your neck. And then make any last little adjustments that you need. Ideally during Shavasana and the body scan, we're letting the body drop into stillness, but you could absolutely adjust at any time if you need. We'll use this guided body scan to really clear the nerve pathways from the brain to the body. Beautiful opportunity to reset and to recalibrate. You can think of it like a meditative massage as you pour your awareness into different parts. Begin by bringing your awareness to the crown of your head. Let your attention wash downward through your scalp, the back of your head. And then bring your awareness to the brow center, the space right between your brows, relaxing across your forehead, your temples, down through the eyes, relaxing the muscles around your eyes and letting the eyeballs fall back and down into the skull. And bring your awareness to your mouth. Decompress any clenching in the jaw, the lips, the tongue. Continue to let your awareness move down through the sides of your neck and your throat. Down into the shoulders and the arms, all the way down into the palms of your hands, backs of your hands, and the fingers. Bring your awareness back into your torso. Just washing your awareness down in 360 degrees around your rib cage, the sides of your waist, your low belly. Bring your awareness into your pelvis, hips, buttocks, thighs, knees, lower legs, ankles, the soles of the feet and the tops of the feet, all the way down to the tips of each one of your toes. And gently start to bring the awareness back up through the feet, up the legs, starting from the tailbone, move the awareness all the way up the spine, mid-back, into the neck and the base of the skull. Let the awareness travel from the tips of the fingers upward through the arms, up through the throat, the back of the head, the face, and then returning to the crown of your head. Take a moment here just to observe the sensations in your body. Notice any pockets where there's more sensation. And stay with one area of the body for a moment and then perhaps notice another spot. When you're ready, bring your awareness back to the space around you. Any sounds in the room with you or sounds in the distance. And start to deepen your pattern of breathing and perhaps bring some gentle movement back into your body by nodding your head or circling your ankles or your wrists. Might feel good to take a long body stretch before you rise up, reach your arms back over your head, bring your legs together, point the toes, deep breath in. And exhale as you gently roll to either side, and then work your way slowly to a seat. And then you land meeting me in a seated position with your hands at your heart, finding Anjali Mudra, this seal of energy, and acknowledging yourself for taking care of yourself. We'll close with one last cleansing breath. Reach your arms down and then out to your side. Breathe in as you reach up over your head. And exhale, let it go. Thank you for hanging out for a little bit. I hope that the practice felt good for you and that you have a great rest of your day. Take care. See you soon.